Welcome to the very first month of 2026. I'm Dr. Sana Tabnawi. I'm a physical chemist and neuroresilience coach, and I'm profoundly honored to begin this journey with you. We stand at the threshold of the new year, a time when the world whispers of resolutions and new beginnings. But today we are not looking for a checklist of habits. We are looking for the source of your life itself. To guide us, I will be sharing and paraphrasing the beautiful, timeless insights of Maya Angelou. I went through her insight last year when I wanted to create a poem about burnout and drawing on her concept, the mask. The FDA submission must go on. But let's go back to the new resolution. Maya once told us that love and strength are not merely soft sentiments. She defined them as a condition so strong that it may be that which holds a star in their heavenly positions and that which causes the blood to flow orderly in our veins. So today we are looking at that internal force, that condition so strong. And we ask, how do we stop shrinking and start soaring? There is something inside you, my friends, something vast and strong. To paraphrase Maya, it's a force so divine that the stars will dim themselves in its presence. Yet, look around. Look around. So many of us walk this earth with our heads down and our spirit caged like a bird, too afraid to fly. We have been taught to shrink, to stay in our little corners, and to keep our dreams locked in our drawers. But there is a creative, vital impetus that pushes us against this smallness. And I want here to bring the philosopher Henri Bergson, called in the Élan Vital, is the vital force, a vital force of evolution that refuses to be confined by the barriers of the inanimated world. This is the energy that drives a seed to split its shell and push through the hard earth to reach for the sun. It's not passive, it's an active, holding necessity to become. As we begin this new year, you must realize that you were not placed on this good earth to be small. You were meant to occupy space and be grounded in your becoming. The élan vital inside you is the very reason you feel that relentless tugging in your soul when you try to settle for less than you deserve. You might ask, Sana, where does this force live? Is it just a poetry? In the world of modern neuropsychology, we are discovering that this grounder has a physical home, and Marxians call it the hidden spring. For a long time, science believed that consciousness, the I, that experiences the world, live in the higher part of the brain, the cerebral cortex. But we know now that consciousness is more primitive and more powerful than that. It arises from the ancient brainstem, a part of the brain we share with all vertebrates. This is the seat of affect, the raw, the pulsing feeling of being alive. This hidden spring is the source of your seeking system, and I really would like to encourage you to read the book of Marxians, The Hidden Spring, a journey of the source of consciousness. And actually the seeking system, this is an ancient dopamine-driven system meant to drive your most energized search for fulfillment. It is the biological engine of the élan vital. It proactively engages with the unknown and the uncertain. When you feel curious, when you feel enthusiasm, when you feel that spark of optimism, despite of the cold of winter that we have right now, this is your brainstem radiating its own heat. And to paraphrase Maya, She understood this biological value system in a way. She knew that our feelings are a legacy bestowed upon us by the whole history of life to steel us for the uncertainties to come. Your throbbing vein will take you further than any mere thinking. Maya lived this truth through the examples of a strong woman who raised her, her mother, Vivian Baxter, whom she called Lady, was a woman of startling beauty and iron determination. When Maya was a young woman, tall and uncertain of her place in the world, Lady Baxter gave her a piece of wisdom that became the bedrock of her life. She told her, "You have power and determination, and with those two things, you can go anywhere and everywhere." She refuses to let Maya apologize for her light. She told her that light does not apologize for shining. In one of the most moving stories from her life, Maya describes her mother as a woman who stood in the gap. When Maya was 15 and facing racial rejection while trying to get a job on the San Francisco streetcars, her mother didn't tell her to be realistic or to shrink. She told her to go get it. Every morning at 4 a.m., her mother drove her to the car barn, sat in the car with a pistol for protection, and followed the streetcar until the first light to ensure her daughter could occupy the space she had claimed. Again, to paraphrase Maya, she learned that day that her mother was the best protection she could ever have, but she also learned that she possessed her own internal hidden spring of power. As we close the first episode of the year, I want to leave you with the first of the 3 C's that we'll explore in this series. Consciousness. To stop screwing yourself over begins with a simple act of awareness. You must become conscious of the élan vital pulsing in your own wrists. In the hustle and bustle of January, we often go through life on autopilot, ignoring our own internal state until we feel sick or broken. But to be conscious is to acknowledge your ownership of your life. It's important to realize that your minds belong to your organism and that you have a responsibility to your own brilliance. I know sometimes it could be difficult. It's not accessible. But again, to paraphrase a lifelong lesson from Maya, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes. Feel the air in your lungs and the heartbeat in your chest. That is not just a biological function. That is the hidden spring. That is the force that holds the stars in their positions. It is vast, it is strong, and it is yours. In our next episode, we will look at the enemies of this force, the well-dressed lies we tell ourselves to justify staying in our cages. But for today, simply stand tall. Own your voice, claim your space, rise and rise you shall. And just a little thing. Think of your potential as a hidden underground spring. For years, you may have built concrete parking lot of logic and opinion over it, trying to keep things flat and safe. But the water, the élan vital is still there, pulsing and pushing. To become conscious is to find the first crack in that concrete. You don't need to destroy the whole lot today, no. You just need to recognize that there is a mighty river waiting beneath your feet, ready to turn your life into a garden if only let it flow.